Okay, anyway, I'm Kaelstrom. I read things, fantasy, sci-fi, nonfiction, and I like to talk about it. I like to talk about books. I'm new to the booktube space. The video before this, I talked about sequels and books and series near the next books and series, I guess, that I want to read in 2026. This video, I would like to talk about series that I want to start in 2026 that I have not started yet. So, we'll kick this off with Everlost by Neil Shusterman. I really like Neil Shusterman. I have a lot of stuff from him. There, it's those two shelves. Those two shelves. Right there and right there. Scythe is awesome. Unwind is awesome. I've read some of the standalones, and then next I need to read the Skinjacker trilogy starting with Everlost. I'm very excited about this. So I guess I can read the back and kind of give you an idea what it is. Nick and Allie don't survive the car accident, but their souls don't exactly get where they're supposed to go either. Instead, they're caught halfway between life and death in a sort of limbo known as Everlost, a shadow of the living world filled with all the things and places that no longer exist. It's a magical yet dangerous place where bands of lost children run wild, and anyone who stands in the same place too long sinks into the center of the earth. When they find Mary, the self-proclaimed queen of lost kids, Nick feels like he's found a home, but Allie isn't satisfied spending eternity between worlds. Against all warnings, Allie begins learning the criminal art of haunting and ventures into dangerous territory where a monster called the McGill threatens all the souls of Everlost. In this imaginative tale, Neil Shusterman explores questions of life, death, and what just might lie in between. That's something I love about Neil Shusterman. He takes a lot of problems that are happening in the world, a lot of kind of tough topics, and puts them into sci-fi stories, speculative fiction kind of stories, and they're also very approachable to YA. I think most of his stuff is classified YA. To the Justice of Kings, Richard Swan. I am excited to I think I'm just excited to get into all of these. Any fantasy that I've kind of been behind on, but now I'm in a place where I can get to start them. I think most people know what the Justice of Kings are, but what the Justice of Kings is, but we'll do a little read of the inner tab of the blurb, the summary. The Empire of the Wolf simmers with unrest. Rebels, heretics, and powerful patricians all challenge the might of the imperial throne. Only the Order of Justices stands in the way of chaos. Sir Conrad Monvault is the most feared justice of all, upholding the law by way of his sharp mind, arcane powers, and skill as a swordsman. At his side stands Helena Sadanka, his talented protege, orphaned by the wars that forged the Empire. When the pair investigates the murder of a provincial aristocrat, not cat, they unearth a conspiracy which stretches to the very top of imperial society. As the stakes rise and become ever more personal, Von Vault and Helena must make a choice. Will they abandon the laws they've sworn to uphold in order to protect the Empire? So we got a bit of a mystery going on investigating murder, and sounds like a lot of politics too. Things I like. Next, this is a finished series, I believe, a trilogy. Rebecca Roanhorse's Black Sun. This is the first book in Between Earth and Sky. I really like this cover, first off, so that just excites me. I do judge books by their covers. It just looks exciting. A god will return when the earth and sky converge under the black sun. In the holy city of Tova, the winter solstice is usually a time for celebration and renewal, but this year it coincides with a solar eclipse, a rare celestial event prescribed by the sun priest as an unbalancing of the world. Meanwhile, a ship launches from a distant city bound for Tova and set to arrive on the solstice. The captain of the ship, Jala, Xiala, is a disgraced teak whose song can calm the waters around her as easily as it can warp a man's mind. Her ship carries one passenger. Described as harmless, the passenger Serapio is a young man, blind, scarred, and cloaked in destiny. As Jala well knows, when a man is described as harmless, he usually ends up being a villain. Crafted with unforgettable characters, Rebecca Roanhorse's epic adventure exploring the decadence of power amidst the weight of history and the struggle of individuals swimming against the confines of society and their broken pasts is the most original series debut of the decade. Yeah, I've heard a lot about this series, so excited to finally dive in, excited that it's finished. We're going to save that for last. That's a thing. Otherwise, not really in any particular order. But the next one I do want to read, I believe this is just a duology. So this series is not finished. Book 3 is still coming. I have books 1 and 2. This is Kings of the Wild, the band trilogy, the band series. Let me double check. Yeah, the band series. Okay. So there seems to be maybe a book 3 coming. Anyway, Kings of the Wild, Nicholas Eames. I see this everywhere. I see like the more recognizable typeface, like this, all the time. And I've always kind of wanted to read it every time I've gone to the bookstore, but I've never gotten around to it. But I got this in a book box, and now I kind of have to read it. Anyway. The boys are back in town. Clay Cooper and his band were once the best of the best, the meanest, dirtiest, most feared and admired crew of mercenaries this side of the Heartwild. But their glory days are long past. The Mercs have grown apart and grown old, fat, drunk, or a combination of the three. Then a former bandmate turns up at Clay's door with a plea for help. His daughter Rose is trapped in a city besieged by an enemy horde 100,000 strong and hungry for blood. Rescuing Rose is the kind of impossible mission that only the very brave or the very stupid would sign up for. It's time to get the band back together for one last tour across the wild. Sounds super exciting. A lot of action. Sounds like bringing a group together. It honestly sounds like a D&D campaign. So I'm excited to see where it goes. All right, next. This monster. The Dragonbone Chair. Tad Williams. Book 1 is this thick. It's a hunker, and there's 4 of them. This is Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn series from Tad Williams. I'm not sure I can hold this open with one hand. It's so big. Okay, here we go. The first novel in the internationally best-selling series, Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn. Kitchen boy Simon is bored, restless, and 14 years old, a dangerous combination. It seems, however, that his life has just taken a turn for the better when he's apprenticed to his castle's resident wizard. As Simon learns to read and write under Dr. Morgine's tutelage, forces greater than he could possibly imagine are gathering, forces that will change Simon's life and his world forever. Following the death of good King John, Austin Ard is plunged into civil war as his sons battle for control of the fabled Dragonbone Chair, the country's throne and symbol of its power. Simon is forced to flee the only home he has ever known, a journey that will test him beyond his worst nightmares. So, sounds like your typical high fantasy. Big world. Lots of things going on. Obviously, lots of things going on if this is book 1, and there's still 3 more books after that. So, excited to read that one. All right, and another series that is not finished yet, but I loved James Islington's first series, the Lycanius trilogy, The Shadow of What Was Lost, The Echo of Things to Come, and The Light of All That Falls. I love that series. I need to reread it because I know when the 3rd book came out, I reread the first 2 to better remember and kind of understand what was going on. I know I miss a lot of details sometimes when I'm just like in the scenes and enjoying it. But now that I've read book 3, I need to, now I read book 3 a while back. I need to reread it. But anyway, that was a tangent. Next series that James Islington has been releasing is Hierarchy series, and I have not read The Will of the Many yet. I know everybody on BookTube was talking about it. Everybody loved it. It was even sold out of a lot of places for a while. So I am very excited to read it, but I had a lot of other things to read, and this is another big one. I kind of wanted to also have the next book ready so I could devour it after I finish book 1 to go. So now book 2's out. I think book 3 is coming this year. Don't quote me. Okay. At the elite Katanen Academy, a young fugitive uncovers layered mysteries and world-changing secrets in this new fantasy series by bestselling author James Islington. Audi Ridi Tachi. I took Latin in high school. I don't exactly remember, but I do remember my Latin teacher told us that the V is pronounced with W and the C is a hard C. I don't know. I also can't tell you what any of those mean, and yeah, it's been more than 15 years since my Latin classes. Anyway, the Katanen Republic, the hierarchy, may rule the world now, but they do not know everything. I tell them my name is Vis Telemus. Oh, Telemus. Oh, I've got to tell, I have to tell someone in my D&D group about that. We have a character named Telemus, someone's playing, so he will find that amusing. I tell them my name is Vis Telemus. I tell them I was orphaned after a tragic accident 3 years ago, and that good fortune alone has led to my acceptance into their most prestigious school. I tell them that once I graduate, I will gladly join the rest of civilized society in allowing my strength, my drive, and my focus, what they call will, to be leached away and added to the power of those above me as millions already do, as all must eventually do. I tell them that I belong, and they believe me. But the truth is that I have been sent to the academy to find answers, to solve a murder, to search for an ancient weapon, to uncover secrets that may tear the Republic apart, and that I will never, ever cede my will to the empire that executed my family. To survive, though, I will still have to rise through the academy's ranks. I will have to smile and make friends and pretend to be one of them and win. Because if I cannot, then those who want to control me, who know my real name, will no longer have any use for me. And if the hierarchy finds out who I truly am, they will kill me. This is also the deluxe edition. Yeah, this is the deluxe edition, so there's other content in here. I don't really know what it is. I haven't opened this. I didn't even read the summary before just now. I just loved the first series from James Islington so much that I knew I was going to read this. Next one, I just picked this book up. I keep hearing from so many people about The Raven Scholar, Antonia Hodgson, how good it is, how exciting it is. I think it's classified as dark fantasy. It's the Eternal Path trilogy. I don't think there's any other books out. Book 1, I don't think anybody's anywhere past book 1. 2, The Raven Scholar is a masterfully woven tale of imperial intrigue from an electrifying new voice in epic fantasy. Let us fly now to the Empire of Orin, where after 24 years of peace, the reign of Burst and the Brusque has come to an end. In the dizzying heat of midsummer, 7 exceptional warriors, thinkers, and strategists compete to replace him. When one of them is murdered, it falls to Nina Kra, the Emperor's brilliant, idiosyncratic high scholar, to find the killer and fight for the throne. Nima believes she is alone, but we are here to help. All she has to do is let us in. That sounds dark. If she succeeds, we will win an empire. If she fails, death awaits her. But we won't let that happen. We are the Raven, and we are magnificent. I'm excited to get into that one with how much people are reading, or talking about it. Excuse me, I keep seeing good reviews about it. Excited. All right, and the last series I want to start this year it's going to be a trek. It's going to be a journey. It's not going to be as much of a journey as One Piece, although my husband wishes I would finish it. I'm not doing that. There's 10 books. I don't have them all yet. Broken Binding's been coming out with a set. Might give you a clue right there. I'm gonna finally dig into Malazan. With Guardians of the Moon, Steven Erikson. Okay. Another one that's been on my list for a very long time. The series is finished. I know I've heard that this is a trek, this is a journey, and some people don't finish, and that's okay. And I might be one of those people. But we're gonna try it. We're gonna see. So anyway, I know this one is kind of self-explanatory. A lot of people know what this is, but I'm gonna read the inside anyway. Bled dry by interminable warfare, infighting, and bloody confrontations with Lord Anamander Rake and his Tist-Andi, the vast sprawling Malazan Empire simmers with discontent. Even its imperial legions yearn for some respite. For Sergeant Whiskey Jack and his squad of bridge burners, and for Tattersail, the Second Legion's only surviving sorceress, the aftermath of the Siege of Pale should have been a time to heal the wounded and mourn the dead. But Darujistan, the last of the free cities of Genebakis, still holds out against the Empire, and Empress Lysine's ambition knows no bounds. However, it seems the Empire is not alone in this great game. Sinister forces are gathering as the gods themselves prepare to play their hand. Conceived and written on an epic scale, Gardens of the Moon is a breathtaking achievement, a novel in which grand design, a dark and complex mythology, wild and wayward magic, and a host of enduring characters combined with thrilling, powerful storytelling to resounding effect. Um, this already kind of reminds me of the Powder Mage trilogies, not at all in setting. I know Powder Mage is a fantasy kind of inspired by the French Revolution, I believe, um, or the Napoleonic Wars. One of those. I'd have to look that up. But it is very focused on the gods of the world and the fantasy with that, and this sounds like the gods are going to be very involved, I think. Complex mythology. We're going to find out. Those are the series I am hoping to start this year that I have. I don't know if there's any others that are coming out this year to start. We'll cross those bridges when we get there. There's so many books, so little time. We'll read what we can and enjoy it. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, you want to hear more from me as I start my journey in BookTube, please like and follow. I will be kind of narrowing into my style, figuring out how I want to approach this channel, and just keep sharing my love of books, hearing from all of you, and, going on adventures.